Scientists in London have developed an AI tool, MELD graph, to detect previously invisible brain abnormalities that cause epilepsy. The system, trained on MRI data from over 700 patients, identifies around two-thirds of subtle lesions missed by radiologists. By highlighting abnormalities and explaining its findings, MELD graph speeds up diagnosis and improves access to surgery, offering potential cures for epilepsy patients. The open-source tool is now being introduced to global clinicians and researchers.
We didn't use them obviously because we.
So about 1 in 100 people suffer from epilepsy, and in about a third of these, the anti-seizure medications don't help to control the seizure. For some of those patients, a brain abnormality, so a part of the brain that's not formed correctly, is causing these seizures. And if you can find it, then you can operate and potentially cure the seizures that way.
I think actually you can weirdly see the transmantle on the T1.
Yes.
But I think with prediction.
So we've made an AI tool to help diagnose hidden brain abnormalities in children and adults with epilepsy. And the crucial thing is, if you can find the brain abnormality, you can offer surgery which might cure the seizures. And what our AI tool can do is find two-thirds of those abnormalities that doctors might miss. And that's really important because it means that more children can get the best possible form of treatment.
It's not size that matters. Phone or on Zoom, you wouldn't notice. Obviously, I think some of the motor stuff you would notice because they're.
It's called MELD graph, and I can talk about MELD and graph. So MELD is the multi-center epilepsy lesion detection project. So this is 23 hospitals around the world that have found examples where they found these brain abnormalities and shared them with us. And that made a large data set of 700 of them. That's more than most radiologists would see in their lifetime. What we're then able to do is take the graph bit, which is an AI algorithm, and show it lots of these examples so that it can learn what types of things to look for and how to find these brain abnormalities. And then the last bit is what we've then shared is it can take a new scan, point out where it thinks the abnormality is on that scan, and also, really importantly, how confident it is, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 that it's a brain abnormality, but also what it's using to make that decision. Is the brain a bit too thick in this area? Is it a bit brighter than it's expecting? Then a radiologist can go back to that report and have a look at the scan and say, yes, I think this is causing the seizures. Maybe we can discuss surgery now. I think it's important to kind of put into context how difficult these can be to find. So an MRI scan is maybe 10 million pixels, and they're looking for something that's maybe 100 pixels at its smallest, and that can be very subtle. So for context, if you took an example might be a novel, a 200-page novel, there's 100,000 words in it, and they're looking for one word that's slightly the wrong size or slightly the wrong font. And so you could see how having an AI to point out potential areas can really speed up that process and also pick up things they might have missed.
Okay.
Yeah, perhaps I can give a case example of an 8-year-old girl seen at Great Ormond Street Hospital. She'd been having seizures since she was 4 years old. The medication wasn't helping to control the seizures, and so she was referred to Great Ormond Street. The radiologist looked at the scan. They thought there was a brain abnormality there, but they couldn't be sure. What's different now, rather than having to go many more investigations, many more delays, is they are able to run MELD graph on this patient, and it highlighted an area that they then were able to confirm was the lesion, and she can now be considered for surgery.